Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my Mick Schumacher Career Mode here for round number 3 for the Chinese Grand Prix. Now, if you guys did miss the last episode at Bahrain, then do check that one out by clicking the card in the top right hand corner of your screen. Also, do check out Australia as well. Really good race, that one. And we're only 2 races in, technically speaking. So if you have missed any of the 2, then do check those 2 episodes out to get up to speed on the series quickly and know exactly how we got to this point here in China. But going to this race weekend, overall, Sauber and Mick Schumacher felt very confident about their chances and they were hoping to score some big points. Now, jumping into qualifying on Saturday, China's a tricky one because of the tyre wear situation and the tyre strategy. Tyre wear is really, really high around this circuit, so you really have to sort of play your cards carefully. And in the end, Mick and also Sauber decided to go aggressive with the strategy and just risk it on the super softs and see what happens. And so far, it's a pretty average start to the lap. P14 at the moment in the Alfa Romeo Sauber, not really the best of starts, and the first sector was pretty poor. Mick actually managed to lead for a split second through turn 2, but since then it's all gone backwards. He's pulled a bit back though after the hairpin there, and he's now back inside the top 10. And realistically, that's more or less what the Sauber is in terms of his pace at the moment. So if you can score anywhere inside the top 10, that'd be a good result for the team. There's a lot of people that are competitive around here. The Mercedes look really, really strong around this circuit, especially the Red Bull's not so quick this time round, so Mercedes are definitely going to looking like the favourites here at Shanghai. Ferrari also looking a little bit better, and also I believe Williams, the rumour was they brought a little bit of an upgrade to this track to try and get them off the bottom of the table, or at least try to anyway, and we'll see if that comes to fruition or not over the race weekend. But as you can see now, towards the end of the lap now, DRS wide open on the back straight. At this point, you're just looking for the 100 metre ball to break all the way down to third gear for the apex of the hairpin after one of the longest, if not the longest straights in Formula 1. And finally, at this point, you're looking for the curb on the right hand side to turn into the final corner, pick up your apex, run it onto the curb, don't go too wide, open up with the DRS one final time, and it's up to the line for P9, I believe, in this qualifying session for Mick Schumacher there. So overall, a good little position and inside the top 10. The question is, what can he do from there in the race tomorrow? But either way, that was qualifying. We're now going to run you through the grid for the race here today, and Lewis Hamilton bags himself a 3rd consecutive pole position of the season, ahead of Valtteri Bottas, making it Mercedes front row, ahead of Pierre Gasly and Max Verstappen. So Red Bull second row, those guys couldn't really match the pace of Hamilton. Bottas was a little bit more slower than Lewis, but even still, Mercedes 1-2, Red Bull 3-4, with Verstappen struggling for pace, and then Raikkonen and Vettel 5th and 6th. Sebastian Vettel a second off the pace in the Ferrari there, really just couldn't get the car working. And also the big surprise, the Porsches not having the success of the first 2 races, with Alonso 1.1 off the pace in P7 and Ocon down in P10. Hulkenberg and Mick Schumacher though splitting the Porsches in 8th and 9th there, with Hulkenberg putting in a stellar performance in the Renault car. As you move on to the second part of the qualifying, as you can see here, and Carlos Sainz is 11th place ahead of Charles Leclerc in the second Alfa Romeo. Daniel Ricciardo in P3 ahead of Stoffel Van Dorn on row 7, with Pascal Wehrlein in a very good 15th for Williams there, with both Jaguars, with Perez and Kvyat in 16th and 17th. Romain Grosjean leading both of the Haas cars in 18th and 19th, and finally Lance Stroll in P20 and bringing out your grid for the Chinese Grand Prix. But anyway guys, that is your top 20 and that is the grid, and without further ado, it's now time for round 3 for the Chinese Grand Prix. Right then, let's get ready for the 5 red lights for the Chinese Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go, and it's a brilliant start for the line. Alonso getting off to a poor start in the Porsche there. Ocon getting to the inside, good start from Alonso's teammate. Ocon going very wide and coming up wide. I'm going to try and cut back underneath. Oh, Raikkonen's gone for a half spin, and we're going to slide through there and make the move. Hulkenberg and myself, opportunistic as ever. Very nice couple of overtakes there for the first few corners. Leclerc up into P8 in the other Alfa Romeo Sauber. Phenomenal start from the teammate as we go into turn 4 for the first time. P6 has to be on the card so far. I mean, Raikkonen's going to make his way through the field, so realistically, if we can get P7 this race, assuming Raikkonen makes his way back through, I think the Porsches are raceable this weekend. They don't seem that fast, so we've got an opportunity here. Good start though from Leclerc, absolutely phenomenal stuff. 7th and 8th right now for the Saubers. If we can finish there, that would be phenomenal points for us as a team. So far though, let's see if we can try and keep the pace with the leaders and also try and maintain our tyre wear. Pierre Gasly and Sebastian Vettel scrapping it out, and Hulkenberg is feeling racy here. Vettel going defensive into turn 1. Let's watch this from a distance. We might have an opportunity here to make an overtake. Hulkenberg looking for the outside into the first corner. No way through, but he's holding it in there. To be fair to his credit, he's made it work. He's now on the inside of Sebastian onto turn 2 and 3. Very nice move. Hulkenberg's got it done. Phenomenal stuff. The Ferraris here struggling for pace early on. Hulkenberg though going very quick in that Renault as we go into the hairpin of turn 5. Good exit here. Nice and close to Sebastian. I'll be amazed if we have the pace to race the Ferraris today. That would be incredible. Red Bull and Mercedes look a bit too quick. Porsche and Ferrari not that much. They definitely seem catchable. However, rumours in the paddock car, Ferrari have something massive lined up for Spain in the next race. So I think they might realise that these might be the last of their struggles as they try to get themselves higher up the grid and correct their pretty average start to the season. Currently though, Hulkenberg holding up Sebastian, which is good news for me. It means I can keep up with the train. You can see Gasly's absolutely just flown away in the distance. DRS will be enabled next lap, not this one. So for now, we are stuck behind Sebastian and Hulkenberg. And also, Leclerc keeping up here. I think he's got a Porsche behind him because he's losing a lot of time on the straights to the car behind him. But either way, we're all sort of single file at the minute and holding on to our relative positions. Oh, very wide into turn 1 here. Into turn 2. Oh, I had a look. I'm peeking. I'm going to try and go for it here on Sebastian. Do we have the grip? No, we don't. Not around the outside. That's allowed Leclerc to get past on the inside line. I'm very wide on the exit. Side by side now with my teammate. Alfa Romeos go to war here in Shanghai. Up the inside of Leclerc, holding on to the position there. Nice defensive driving. And we hold on for now. Bottas has got car trouble, got yellow flags up ahead, and I think Bottas might have a potential puncture here. Yellow flag conditions. Can we pass? Will that be okay? No, illegal overtake. We're going to have to give the position back. Sebastian, mate, I need you to go past. Come on. I have to force myself to the outside of Bottas here. Vettel is not overtaking me. Vettel's not passing. I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to go. 5 seconds stop-go penalty, but that is not far from ideal. Sebastian Vettel just was not going for the move on Bottas there. And I've been held up so badly. And now Leclerc, I can see, he's been held up behind Bottas here. This is so weird. Why aren't the AI overtaking Bottas? I don't understand it. I know it's yellow flags, but just get past. I think Leclerc's just made the move now, but 5 second stop go. That's really ruined our race. And Hulkenberg is into 4th place now in the Renault. Incredible stuff. Okay, personal best 37.0. Good race pace. Sebastian Vettel can't actually catch up at the minute. He seems to be struggling for that race pace in the Ferrari, so this is very good news for us. Hulkenberg and myself really just putting our car where it really shouldn't be at the moment and outperforming everybody. This one stopper is going to be a real challenge. Tyre wear already kicking in here, pushing onto the 40s, and we're scheduled to come in at least at the earliest lap 9, so we're going to have to try and suffer with these tyres a little bit. Sebastian is pretty close this lap. DRS enabled. He's coming very quick on the straight. A lot of straight line speed difference. Luckily though, not close enough. A little bit hot on the brakes though. I've gone deep. Didn't lock up to keep my tyres in check, but I've completely let Vettel through there as Raikkonen is now getting the pace up and starting to catch up to us. I will have DRS on Sebastian, but that Ferrari just a little bit more downforce than this Sauber car. I was catching Hulkenberg, so the signs are positive. We are going to have to serve a 5 second stop go though at the pit stop, so we are going to get set back quite a bit. I reckon back to my teammate Charles Leclerc at least. So it's not ideal, but we'll see what we can do with it. This is going to be interesting. We have Valtteri Bottas for company. He is, I believe, 2 laps down. So will he pass me and just get on his way, or will he glitch out and do stupid things like the AI tend to do, and he's going to let me back pass? Because if he does, he's going to cost me a lot of time here. So here comes Valtteri, DRS enabled. He's going to go to the inside, but he hasn't got enough speed to make the pass. This is what I'm saying. He's going to try and frustrate me because I'm going to have to try and keep driving at my pace as we go around the outside and hold on for now. We've got Hulkenberg who's come in, so a little bit of an earlier stop. That might still potentially be a one-stop strategy. We've got another car in the pit lane in the form of Lewis Hamilton as well, so those guys are in. We're going to come in this lap as Bottas looks for the inside, and look at this. This is what I'm talking about. This is not ideal. Bottas, mate, just go. Oh, no, no. Just caught the grass. I caught the grass. There's Hamilton on the inside. I'm going to have to be careful, but we've lost a lot of time there. That is not ideal. We've lost a lot of ground to Raikkonen, and we've lost a lot of ground to Nico Hulkenberg, who we were racing, and we're now going to have to serve the 5 second stop go this lap, so we're going to get set back massively here. Okay, we're going to come in for our first and only stop of the race. I hope Charles doesn't come in because If he comes in behind me, then I think Charles might get held up quite badly because of my penalty. So hopefully he stays up for one more. But here we go into the pit lane. Hopefully it's still a good stop regardless of the penalty. Sebastian Vettel's coming for medium, so as expected. Here come the Porsches, and Alonso's the first one in. Leclerc, crucially though, stays out, which is good news. There goes Hulkenberg, so that's how far ahead he is. We've got to wait 5 seconds here. Will Alonso pass me in that time? They can now start working on the car. Come on, boys. Got to be a little bit quicker than that. And there we go. 8.3. We are still ahead of Alonso, crucially. So we are still ahead of the lead Porsche, which is really, really good news. If I can beat both Porsches this race, that will be phenomenal. So we've managed to stay ahead of Alonso, which is critical. Now we've got to keep him behind at the same time and pick up the pace a bit. And you never know, we've still got plenty of laps here to try and catch Hulkenberg. It's a long race. As long as I'm consistently faster than him every single lap, we might have an outside chance. But realistically, we're going to need a safety car or something. Okay, we are behind the struggling Carlos Sainz, who is on those pretty used now soft compound tyres. He's going to be fairly easy pickings on the back straight, I feel. Oh, very close. A little bit of a tap there. Sainz locked up, as do I. I'm going to swing right back underneath him, and with the raw grip of these medium tyres, I'm just going to power past. I think I luckily managed to bag myself some DRS though in the process as I passed him after the DRS line. Indeed, there we go, we've got some DRS, so that's going to benefit us in trying to pull away here. So overall, very nicely executed, and we've now got Charles Leclerc in the pit lane, so let's see where he feeds as well. Okay, everybody's in the pit lane, so let's see where everyone feeds out. There's Ocon coming in, so we're miles ahead of that Porsche. And Leclerc is coming to his pit box now, so we are comfortably ahead of Charles. Hopefully, he can maybe give Alonso a challenge from now to the end of the Grand Prix. He'll have a little bit fresher tyres, which is good news. From what I can see, I'm not seeing too many two-stoppers, unless maybe potentially Hulkenberg went for the two-stop. There's Kimi on medium, so we are behind the Iceman after that pit stop phase. To be expected after that penalty, so let's see if we have the pace. We did have better pace than Vettel, or pretty much equal pace, more like, in that first stint. So let's see what Kimi's pace is like, because I might have a chance of keeping up with him here and getting something out of this. But right now we're in P7, and I think that is the best we can do this race. And I said if I could get that at the start of the Grand Prix, I'd be happy. So let's try and bring this one home. There we go, into the 136s just about. Let's see if we can match this sort of pace over the entire stint. I'd be curious to see if I could. The longer I run these lap times for, the better my pace in the long run. So let's see what happens. Looks like Leclerc is getting the moves done as he gets past one car. I'm going to presume that might be Esteban Ocon possibly. Not 100% sure, but he's now gaining pace. Leclerc currently in P9, and he's faster than Alonso, and I'm also faster than Alonso as well. So Alfa Romeo currently, you could argue, best of the rest, with the exception of Hulkenberg, who's putting in an absolute stonking performance. We are now halfway race distance, and on the minute you can see there Hulkenberg just currently holding a bit of a train. So if those battles keep going on, there's still a long way to go in this race for me to potentially catch him. If there's nice, long, and also time-wasting battles, that's exactly what I need. I've got a little bit of rich mix to burn, so that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to use it up. You can see how quick rich mix goes on this mod. I've modded it so it's really powerful, but also gets consumed very quickly. But let's put it to good use for at least maybe 2 laps. Oh, okay, we've got our car in the pit lane here. That's pretty interesting. I'm curious to see who that might be. That might be Vettel or Hulkenberg. I think it said, oh no, Hamilton. I remember one of the other guys also stopped early besides Hulkenberg, but let's see who it is in the pit lane. That's going to be an extra position for us, hopefully. And it is Hulkenberg. He's going to a fresh set of the super stuff, so Hulkenberg cannot make the one-stop work, and he's converting to a 2. Will he be the only one? We'll find out, but a very good, strong personal best for me there, low 36. I've probably got one more lap left in this fuel mixture, and then I'm going to have to get out of it, so let's make it count. Hulkenberg now is going to be really fast on those super soft compound tyres though. I'm looking at it now. Hulkenberg is still not guaranteed to get to the end on those tyres. That's a long way to go on a 2-stop strategy on super soft. We do one more decent lap there into the 35.9s, but we're now out of rich mix. In 2 laps, we've lost the 2 laps of extra fuel we had. That's how it works in the mod now. So let's try and continue on our standard mix and try and still maintain a solid race pace. But Hulkenberg now is putting the pressure on Fernando Alonso. Hulkenberg has made the move on Fernando Alonso, so now he's going to be in hot pursuit of trying to hunt me down with pretty much 8 laps to go. Oh, Bottas out of the race. What a horrible Grand Prix for the Finn, as he has another problem. This time, though, it's terminal. Will there be a safety car called from it? It doesn't look like it, as nothing's been called yet. Normally, it gets called straight away. So, Bottas, a horrific Chinese Grand Prix, one to forget for him. And he won't be remembering this race in a hurry, put it that way. Looking at the tyre wear, it's going to be marginal. I think we're going to be in trouble towards the end of the Grand Prix though, I've got to admit. We're still going at a good pace, we're keeping up with Raikkonen quite well, but I'm looking at, I think, 75% plus towards the end of the Grand Prix as I get that all horribly wrong my line there. So with that in mind, we're going to have to be careful on these and try and nurse them if we can, whenever we can. I think good news is Hulkenberg is not lapping as fast as I thought he would be, and by now he would have lost that sort of edge in performance with the super softs. He's still catching me slowly per lap, but the gap is hardly nothing. So I think right now we're looking very comfortable to hold on to this P6, but as I run deep into the hairpin again, we've got Kimi in front of us stuck into some traffic here, so this won't be over just yet, you never know. Oh, we've got another yellow flag in the first couple of corners here. Someone's pulled over, and it's Romain Grosjean in the Haas, the exact same place as Bottas. He's pulled over, so it doesn't know we're getting a safety car for that. We didn't get one last time, so we're probably not getting one this time for that exact same parking location, but oh well, I'm just going to keep on here. We've got a Jaguar and a Haas, I think it is, Magnussen, and I'm going to guess either Kvyat or Perez in front of us, so we've got some traffic to get through. Still showing some good signs of pace in the car, which is good news. Overall, I think it's more just a bit of a tyre nursing game. The action hasn't been spectacular. We could have done with a safety car in both of those occasions when Bottas and Grosjean retired, but the game just didn't want to give it to us, so just try and bring this one home, really. This isn't going to end well for us. We've got Kvyat and Magnussen dicing it out here in front of us, and they're going side by side. It's not actually Magnussen, it's the Williams of Pascal Vernon. I think I saw. I wasn't really paying attention, but Kvyat, mate, just... Oh, this is awkward. This is awkward. This is very awkward. Could have easily just lost my front wing there. Turn in to the corner, but not ideal. I think Raikkonen's right on the back of Vettel, though. I thought I saw a glimpse of red on the back straight. I'll confirm it if I get another shot this time round, but I lost a bit of time with Kvyat, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to see it. But anything can happen in this race. Lap traffic always causing problems here and trouble in F1 races, especially in this game. Here we go, across the line, 3 laps to go. This is the current situation with the tyre wear. I've been a lot more careful, and the tyres have actually held on quite nicely. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2, I can just see there for a second. I caught out of the corner of my eye on the mini-map, so something's happened there. Maybe someone's going a bit slow. But we are looking dead certain for at least a P6. Oh, he was, until Verstappen's retired from the Grand Prix. Max Verstappen out, and that is the second time in 3 races Red Bull have had a retirement this season. So reliability on the Red Bull car is poor, and that's going to give us, I believe, P5 in this race. We will wait to confirm to see if that is true. And yes, there's Verstappen now on the name tag, so he is going to be the next victim as we pass him, and we're now up into P5. Here is the location of the stricken Max Verstappen on the left hand side. He's parked well out of the way, so will there be a safety car for that? I'm not really sure. There still hasn't been one this race, so why would we get one now? And we're now in P5. That's good news for us and an incredible result. If I'm not mistaken though, Hulkenberg could have been on for a podium in this race in the Renault, which is pretty insane. So I think they'll be kicking themselves over the strategy really by bringing him in for the 2-stop when they had track position to try and win the podium. But I'm not complaining. Their loss is our gain, and we're looking good now for P5. And Charles Leclerc also looking really good for some solid points as well. And as a team, we are looking very good. Here we go then, final up of the Grand Prix. Let's bring this one home. This will be an incredible 10 points for us as a team. Oh, we've got another yellow flag. I think Hulkenberg's retired. Just behind us in the exact same location as... Yes, he has. In the exact same location as Grosjean and Bottas. Hulkenberg out. Obviously impossible to get a safety car now as it's the last lap. But that's going to promote Alonso to P6. And I think Charles Leclerc would be P7. If he can bring that home, that would be incredible for us as a team. Here we go then, through the final couple of corners. Phenomenal race for us, really good pace, strategy absolutely perfect. And Pierre Gasly has won the Chinese Grand Prix. He is back on top with his Gazmobile. Alonso, only finishing P6, might lose his championship lead, but we come home in a brilliant 5th, and hopefully Leclerc in a brilliant P7 for a brilliant result for us as a team this race. So here we have the final classified results as Pierre Gasly wins the Chinese Grand Prix ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who failed to convert a pole position start, ahead of Sebastian Vettel, who gets a podium for Ferrari there, just beating Kimi Raikkonen. So Ferrari in a very good 3rd and 4th, when you could argue their car isn't nowhere near where it should be in terms of the raw pace. Mick Schumacher P5 in the lead, Sauber from an incredible result, ahead of Fernando Alonso in the lead Porsche. Charles Leclerc in the 2nd, Sauber in P7, really good result after starting from P12 on the grid, with Daniel Ricciardo in 8th place from McLaren there, really good result, beating Esteban Ocon on a 2-stop strategy. So Ricciardo, even though he did an extra stop, he still managed to beat Esteban Ocon. Incredible stuff there, as Nico Hülkenberg still scores a point, although he retired from the Grand Prix because he is the first of the non-lapped runners. So Hülkenberg still scores a point there for Renault in P10 after retiring from the Grand Prix. Incredible stuff. And Pascal Wehrlein in P11 just missing out on the points there. But overall, a very good race. In terms of the driver standings, you can see Alonso still leads the way by 1 point over Pierre Gasly. Lewis Hamilton in P3 now, as Sebastian Vettel gets himself up into 4th place. Mick Schumacher now jumps into P6, just behind Kimi Raikkonen there, with Esteban Ocon also getting himself above Valtteri Bottas, with Verstappen and Leclerc bringing out the top 10. In terms of the constructors, you can see Porsche lead the way by 7 points over Red Bull and 7 points over Ferrari, so it's very close at the top. Mercedes only 4 points behind Ferrari, so the top 4 teams, the big boys, covered by 11 points. And so far, so good for Alfa Romeo. 37 points to our name. Mick Schumacher and Charles Leclerc doing a phenomenal job scoring in that amount of points after the first 3 races, with McLaren now getting into P6, jumping Renault for the point standings there in the Constructors' Championship. But overall, a very good episode here for the Chinese Grand Prix, guys. Not the most fantastic racing episode, but still very important for the championship. If you did enjoy it, then please do drop a like on the video. Let's try and smash 200 likes, guys, for this episode. Do forget to subscribe for daily Formula 1 and MotoGP content. And finally, do check out these 2 videos on screen if you've missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.